Some people say that the greatest pain is losing someone you love, but they have never known the pain of waiting month after month, year after year, praying for a child that never comes. This is the story of Amanda, a woman whose greatest crime was loving too deeply, a woman who remained faithful when the world rewarded deception, and a woman whose tears watered the path to a destiny no one saw coming. The morning sky was unusually quiet. Amanda sat silently in the back seat of a taxi as it sped through the busy streets. She wasn't looking out the window. She wasn't scrolling through her phone. She simply stared into space. Her mind replayed the same painful memories that had haunted her for 7 years. 7 years of marriage. 7 years of endless prayers. 7 years of answering the same painful question. When will you have a child? She had been everywhere. Modern hospitals, private fertility clinics, traditional herbalists whose strange concoctions promised miracles, prayer mountains where she fasted until she nearly collapsed. Yet every month ended the same way. Disappointment. As the taxi stopped in front of one of the most respected fertility hospitals in the city, Amanda took a deep breath. "This has to be the last place," she whispered to herself. "I can't keep living like this." She paid the driver and slowly walked through the hospital entrance. The reception area buzzed with patients waiting for their names to be called. A nurse eventually led Amanda into the consulting room. Behind the desk sat the renowned fertility specialist whose name everyone seemed to know. He welcomed her warmly. "Please have a seat." Amanda sat quietly. The doctor adjusted his glasses and opened a fresh file. "Tell me your name." "Amanda." "How old are you?" "I'm 33. "How long have you been married?" 7 years. "And you've been trying to conceive since then?" Amanda nodded. "Yes." The doctor scribbled notes before asking another question. "Have you ever undergone surgery?" "No." "Any miscarriage?" "No." "Any serious accident or fall that injured your abdomen?" Amanda thought for a moment. "No, doctor." He continued asking questions about her menstrual cycle, previous treatments, medications, and family history. After nearly 20 minutes, he closed the file. "I'll need to run several investigations before we can reach any conclusions." He wrote a long list of laboratory tests: blood work, hormonal profile, ultrasound, additional fertility screening. Amanda accepted the request form. "Please proceed to the laboratory." She thanked him and quietly left the office. The laboratory waiting area was almost empty. Amanda sat patiently, clutching the test form in her trembling hands. Every hospital smelled the same: antiseptic, medicine, fear. She sighed deeply. Just then, another woman entered the waiting room. She looked heavily pregnant. Her face glowed with joy. She smiled warmly before taking the seat beside Amanda. "Good morning." Amanda forced a smile. "Good morning." The woman studied Amanda's face carefully before laughing softly. "You don't recognize me, do you?" Amanda looked again. She searched her memory. "I'm sorry, I don't." The woman laughed. "We met years ago, at your university graduation." Amanda's eyes widened. "Wait." The woman nodded. "It's me, Grace." Amanda gasped. "Grace." The two women hugged warmly. Amanda stepped back and looked at her carefully. "My goodness. You've changed so much." Grace laughed. "I know. You've become much fatter than the last time I saw you." Grace placed both hands lovingly on her swollen stomach. "The baby deserves the credit." For a brief moment, Amanda smiled. But behind that smile, her heart quietly broke. Grace noticed the sadness hidden in Amanda's eyes, but chose not to mention it. Instead, they spoke about old classmates, university memories, and life after graduation. Soon Amanda's name was called. She completed her tests and later returned home. Her husband, Daniel, had just returned from one of his engineering projects in another state. His suitcase still rested by the door. Amanda smiled weakly as she entered. "You're back." Daniel embraced her warmly. "I've missed you." He immediately noticed the hospital envelope in her hand. "How did it go?" Amanda sat beside him. The doctor asked many questions. She carefully explained everything: the consultation, the examinations, the laboratory tests, the waiting period before the results. Daniel listened attentively before holding both her hands. "My love, we've walked this road together for 7 years. I don't care how long it takes. We'll keep believing." Amanda smiled. She wished she could believe those words. But outside the bedroom window, someone else had already begun plotting against the peace of their home.
Drive safe.
Daniel's
I'll miss
mother,
you.
a woman who had never hidden her hatred for Amanda. To her, Amanda was nothing more than the barren woman who had wasted her son's best years. Amanda returned home that evening with a heavy heart. Although Daniel welcomed her with warmth, she could not shake the feeling that the doctor's words had only deepened the uncertainty surrounding their future. Days passed. The laboratory results arrived,
The doctor called.
and the doctor requested more
The results
investigations
aren't good.
before reaching a final
It's
conclusion.
serious, Daniel.
Amanda remained hopeful,
I'm here.
but
We'll
each
face this
passing day
together.
seemed to steal a little more of her strength. Daniel soon left for another engineering project in a neighboring state. His work demanded long weeks away from home, supervising construction sites and managing contracts across the country. Before leaving,
I have
he
to go
kissed
now.
Amanda gently
Drive
on the
safe.
forehead.
I'll miss you.
"My love, I'll be back before you know it. Don't lose hope." Amanda forced a smile. "I'll be waiting." After Daniel left, the house became painfully quiet. Fortunately, she was not completely alone. Their maid, Teresa, had worked with the family for nearly 4 years. Unlike many housemaids, Teresa treated Amanda with genuine love and respect. She often noticed when Amanda cried quietly in her room after another disappointing hospital visit. One afternoon, Teresa entered Amanda's room carrying a tray of tea. "Madam, you've hardly eaten today." Amanda smiled faintly. "I'm not hungry. You have to stay strong." Amanda looked at the young woman and gently held her hand. "Thank you, Teresa." Little did Amanda know, Teresa would remain one of the few people who never turned against her. Unfortunately, the same could not be said about her mother-in-law. Whenever Daniel traveled, his mother found excuses to visit the house. Every visit ended
You
the
have
same
brought
way:
nothing but shame to
insults,
this family.
mockery, painful
Look at
words
me when I'm
disguised
talking to
as
you.
advice. One afternoon, she walked into the sitting room and looked Amanda
You
up and
have brought
down.
nothing but
"My
shame
son
to this
deserves
family.
children, not excuses."
Look at me when I'm talking
Amanda
to you.
remained silent. "You have occupied his life for 7 years." Still, Amanda said nothing. "I warned him not to marry you." Teresa, who was dusting the shelves nearby, clenched her fists in anger. But Amanda gently shook her head, silently asking her not to interfere. Daniel's mother laughed bitterly before leaving. "The day another woman gives my son a child is the day you'll know your time in this house is over." Those words echoed in Amanda's mind long after the older woman had gone. A week later, Amanda went for groceries at the supermarket. While checking out, she met Grace once again. This time, Grace's pregnancy was even more noticeable. The two women embraced warmly. After exchanging greetings, Grace leaned closer. "Amanda, I want to tell you something." Amanda looked at her curiously. "There is a powerful man of God not too far from here." Grace lowered her voice. "Many women who couldn't conceive have received their miracles through him." Amanda's eyes widened. "Really?" Grace nodded confidently. "I was once in your shoes." Amanda glanced at Grace's baby bump. "After all the prayers and fasting there, God remembered me." Hope returned to Amanda's heart. She had visited churches before, but perhaps this one would be different. Grace wrote down the church's address. "Go this weekend." Amanda thanked her sincerely. That Saturday, she traveled to the church. It was located on the outskirts of town. The building looked ordinary, yet hundreds of people filled the compound, believing miracles awaited them. After the service, the prophet called Amanda into his office. He listened carefully as she explained her struggle. Then he closed his eyes dramatically. "I can see a spiritual chain holding your womb." Amanda listened attentively. "You need 7 days of special prayers." She nodded. "I'll do whatever it takes." For the next 7
Lord, give me
days,
strength.
Amanda obeyed every
Your
instruction.
word is my
She
light.
fasted. She
Hear
prayed.
my cry,
She
O
attended
Lord.
every
I
vigil.
will persevere
On the
in hope.
7th evening, the prophet asked everyone to leave except Amanda. The room suddenly became quiet. He walked slowly toward her. The final deliverance requires a special sacrifice. Amanda looked confused. What kind of sacrifice? The prophet smiled strangely. God has revealed that I must lie with you. Amanda froze. Her heart skipped.
No,
What?
I won't.
It is the only way to break the curse.
I defy you.
Amanda stepped backward. You are a married woman, but this is spiritual. Tears filled Amanda's eyes. No, you don't understand. I said no. The prophet's face changed. If you refuse, you may never have children. Amanda lifted her head. I would rather remain childless than betray my husband. Without another word, she walked out of the office. Outside the church compound, tears streamed down her face. She had come seeking hope. Instead, she had encountered evil disguised as holiness. A few days later, Amanda met Grace again. As they spoke, Amanda carefully questioned her about the prophet. Grace became uncomfortable. Finally, she broke down crying. Between sobs, she confessed a terrible secret. My baby, Amanda held her breath, is not my husband's. Amanda stared at her in disbelief. Grace buried her face in her hands. The prophet said it was God's instruction. Amanda felt the ground beneath her disappear. She suddenly understood everything. That man had been deceiving desperate women. And Grace had become one of his victims. Amanda quietly walked away. Her heart was broken. But despite everything, she thanked God she had protected her marriage. She had no idea that an even greater storm was already making its way toward her home. One that would test not only her faith, but the very foundation of her marriage. Amanda had cried many times, but she never imagined that the greatest pain of her life would come, not from strangers, but from the people she called family. Weeks passed after Amanda discovered the truth about the so-called prophet. She never told Daniel what had happened. She simply thanked God for giving her the strength to walk away before she made the greatest mistake of her life. Daniel remained busy with work. As an engineer, his company kept winning contracts in different states, forcing him to travel almost every month. Whenever he called home, Amanda pretended to be happy. She never wanted him to worry. She continued praying. She continued hoping. And she continued believing that one day, God would remember her. But while Amanda was praying, someone else was planning her downfall. One bright Saturday morning, Amanda was watering the flowers in front of the house when a taxi stopped outside the gate. A young woman stepped out. She looked to be in her late 20s. Her expensive handbag rested on one shoulder, while one hand gently supported her visibly pregnant stomach. Amanda smiled politely. Good morning. The young woman smiled back. Good morning. I am looking for Engineer Daniel. Amanda's smile faded slightly. My husband isn't home. He's on a business trip. The woman nodded calmly. I'll wait. Amanda found the request strange. Is there anything I can help you with? The young woman looked directly into Amanda's eyes. There is something you should know. Amanda's heartbeat quickened. The woman placed a hand on her stomach. I am carrying your husband's child. For a moment, the entire world stood still. Amanda blinked several times, hoping she had heard wrongly. I'm sorry. What did you just say? I am pregnant for Daniel. The watering can slipped from Amanda's hands and crashed onto the ground. At that very moment, Daniel's mother arrived. She had come, as usual, to remind Amanda that she had failed as a wife. Instead, she found the young pregnant woman standing at the gate. What is happening here? She demanded. The woman respectfully greeted her. Mama, my name is Vanessa. I came because I am carrying Daniel's baby. The older woman's eyes widened. What? Vanessa gently rubbed her stomach. I didn't want to hide it anymore. To Amanda's greatest surprise, her mother-in-law did not become angry. Instead, a smile slowly spread across her face. Praise God, she shouted. At last, she rushed forward and embraced Vanessa. My son has finally become a man. Amanda could not believe what she was seeing. Without asking a single question,
Here
without
you go, my
hearing
dear.
Amanda's
Eat up.
side,
Thank
her
you, Mama. It
mother-in-law
looks
welcomed the
wonderful.
stranger
You're
into the
welcome, my.
house as though she had always belonged there. Teresa watched everything from the doorway. Her heart ached for Amanda. That evening, Daniel finally returned from his trip. Amanda had spent the entire day praying that the woman was lying. She believed that once Daniel arrived, everything would be cleared up. The moment Daniel entered the sitting room, he froze. His mother sat happily beside Vanessa. Amanda stood quietly in one corner. Daniel looked from one face to another. What is going on? His mother smiled proudly. Congratulations, my son. Daniel looked confused. Vanessa slowly stood up. Then she spoke. I'm pregnant. Silence filled the room. Amanda fixed her eyes on her husband. She waited. She waited for him to laugh. She waited for him to deny it. She waited for him to tell everyone it was impossible. Instead, Daniel lowered his head. He said nothing. Amanda felt as though someone had stabbed her heart. Daniel, she whispered, tell them she's lying. Still, he remained silent. Minutes later, he finally spoke. It happened while I was away on one of my projects. Amanda staggered backwards. Her eyes filled with tears. She searched his face, hoping he would say he was joking. But he never did. That night, Amanda cried herself to sleep. The following days became unbearable. Vanessa moved into the house. Daniel's mother insisted that she deserved the biggest bedroom because she was carrying the family's future. Amanda was expected to adjust, to endure, to accept. Every morning, Daniel's mother prepared special meals for Vanessa. She accompanied her to hospital appointments. She bought clothes for the unborn baby. Then she would turn to Amanda with cold eyes. Look at her. That is what a real woman looks like. You. She pointed at Amanda with disgust. You are barren. You have wasted 7 years of my son's life. You couldn't even give him one child. Every insult pierced Amanda's heart. Teresa often found Amanda crying quietly in the kitchen. One afternoon, Teresa could no longer remain silent. Madam, why are you allowing them to treat you this way? Amanda wiped her tears. Because this is still my home. But deep inside, she no longer believed those words. As the weeks passed, Vanessa became even bolder. She lied constantly. Whenever Daniel returned from work, she accused Amanda of insulting her. She claimed Amanda wished her baby would die. She even accused Amanda of trying to poison her food. None of it was true, yet Daniel believed every word. Whenever Amanda tried to defend herself, Daniel stopped her. Enough, Amanda. I'm tired. You are becoming jealous. Those words broke Amanda more than anything else. Jealous? She had stood beside this man when he had nothing. She remembered working 2 jobs while Daniel studied engineering at the university. During the day, she worked as a supermarket cashier. At night, she cleaned offices just to earn enough money for his tuition, textbooks, and feeding. There were days she went to bed hungry so Daniel could remain in school. She never complained. She believed they were building a future together. Now, the same man looked at her as though she were the enemy. One rainy evening, Amanda sat alone in the bedroom staring at an old photograph from Daniel's graduation. She smiled through her tears. I would do it all again, she whispered, but I never imagined this would be my reward. Outside the door, Teresa stood silently. She heard every word, and for the first time, she feared that Amanda was slowly giving up.